I didn't know Lisa and Patty were coming tonight. Lisa emailed me and said she couldn't make it. So it's still a little surreal. I have notes so that I keep it to 5 or 6 minutes. I have a lot of people that I want to thank, but I want to start with a story, and it's really kind of not the kind of story you share at an event like this, and it's going to sound bizarre after hearing all that. But I guess Cinda and my parents are the only people maybe who were here for it. But it was the very end of our season my freshman year, and 3 out of our top 6 players were seniors. We're graduating, it was maybe their last competitive tennis ever. And we were in the semifinals of nationals, and it's funny you said I'm good under pressure, because it came down to my match. The match was tied 4-4. We're playing at Sweetbriar, may it rest in peace. So there were a lot of W&L folks who made the trip. It was really sad. Anyway, so a lot of people were watching. I was really nervous because I got nervous before big matches. And I fought through the first set. I won it, and then I got to match point in the second set. And on that point, I hit this drop shot, and I went for a backhand passing shot up the line, which was a bread and butter. I loved my backhand up the line passing shot. I didn't miss, like, frequently. And when I hit it, it felt crisp. And you could just hear everyone holding their breaths, ready to explode, because that was going to put us in the finals. And it landed barely wide, and I lost the match in a third set. Has anyone seen the Royal Tenenbaums? I am more embarrassed, not because of my unforced error, but because I was a total Luke Wilson when I lost that match, except I kept my socks and shoes on until I got off the court. For those of you who, it was a really embarrassing meltdown that haunted me for a long time. And I'm getting to a point, I'm not just trying to tell a depressing story. I know W&L is so exceptionally selective that you kind of have to have perfect grades, GPA, extracurriculars to get in. And I'd failed before. I'd lost a ton of matches before coming to W&L, but I had never failed a whole team of people. And while Holt Merchant like bled red ink all over my papers, I could tuck those into a folder, and there weren't people watching me mess it up from a footbridge, looking right down on the tennis courts. And that experience was so hard. And I am so grateful that Cinda, you were my coach, and I had teammates, even though y'all weren't here yet, Lisa and Patty, later on, y'all were at hard times, and I had teammates who were there to help me learn a really hard lesson that excellence is not perfectionism. And that's really been, I think, the most valuable thing I took away from Washington and Lee, more than anything that I got in a classroom. And so thank you, Cinda, for always being consistent and fair, even when I was stubborn. And yeah, that description is not a complete picture of me at W&L. I think I'm a strong-willed individual who does not like running. So thank you for always being fair and caring for us on and off the court. W&L would not have been in my radar at all had you not recruited me here. So thank you. I would have missed out on so much. I want to thank professors of the university who are understanding of athletes. I came here because I didn't want kind of a D1 experience where tennis was the #1 priority like it is at a lot of places. I want to thank the professors for pushing me and for helping me discover a passionate love of coffee. I want to thank David Detweiler, Kurt Spearschneider, who's now elsewhere, but Mike Pleva, Dave Leonard, my pseudo-grandparents Hank and Audrey Palmer, an alumni who made my education affordable with your donations so generously to the school. I know I just read that Forbes recently ranked W&L #1 in the country among liberal arts colleges for alumni's median income. And had I been saddled with enormous debt, I could not have done the really rewarding work I've done that has dragged down that average, by the way, sorry. Anyway, and finally, I just want to thank my parents, especially my dad, who, for those of y'all who haven't met him, he cheers as loudly for Generals tennis as he ever did for LSU football.